Hi guys, it's me Missy, I'm back, and today I'm going to be playing some more Disco Elysium. Now when I last left off, we had just found out that what the victim was saying was a big lie, or, well, everything was a big lie. There's more to this mystery than we actually thought. Turns out the guy was already dead before they hung him. So basically a lot of interesting things have happened last time I streamed. But let's see what else is going on here. Let's see if I can get more information from her. Let's talk to this lady.
It's always good to see you.
Something in her demeanor has changed. She's tired, consigned to her fate, to being here with you and what's to come.
The Hardy Boys told us what really happened.
I understand.
Just like that. No resistance. Her shoulders are slouched, her feet long and straight.
You don't look surprised. You were expecting this.
I knew there was a chance you'd get them to tell you. It's what you do. You're the police. For what it's worth, I'm sorry for wasting your time.
This is good. Clear the air first, between you two, then move on to questions. Is it? Something is off here. Shush, I can't hear what she's saying.
If you knew we would find out eventually, why did you waste our time?
That is a good question.
Because of the Hardys. I couldn't just dispense with them. They were only trying to help me. Out of the shit I'd gotten into.
That's not a good enough reason.
You're right. There's more.
More?
You answer to the coalition government, and by extension, the moral intern.
Briefly glancing over her shoulder to the sea, as she's done time and time again. A grand expanse of water reaches over the bay and to the horizon, golden grey in the noonlight.
What lies beyond it?
The Pearl, the Muindi Isola, the Occident, and then Oranje, the old, old world.
Is that why you're looking over your shoulder? You are afraid of the moral intern?
You share a database with them. You send people to their courts.
What's going on? What did you do?
Just business. But bad business for some people in the moral intern. If I show up in your records, officer, they will find me.
What happens if they do?
They will kill me, sir. If you file my name, take me in for questioning, enter me into the moral intern mill, well, then I'm fucked. For nothing. This murder didn't have anything to do with me.
Okay.
Fucked. People after her? Moral intern people? This isn't Oranese lit. Actually, this murder did have a little to do with her.
Hold on one second, guys. You said you studied Oranese Lit. What is with the fugitive stuff?
I did. I also had a side job selling insurance that I was really good at. Got picked up by a bank. Competitive intelligence, they called it. After that, I sort of, transitioned out of the whole culture scene.
What did you do to have these people after you?
It's not nice, but it's not illegal. Not here in Revachol, or even in Oranje.
What exactly did you do?
Industrial espionage. I joined a business collective with the intention of betraying them. I did my job well enough to be asked to do it again. With a bigger company. The kind you really, really don't fuck with. I took their ledgers, 2 decades worth of accounting.
I need the names of the companies involved and who hired you.
The job was Lewes County Savings Bank. They sound small, but they're part of the Lewes Scott conglomerate. That was the second job. The first was some printer company. You wouldn't know them.
Okay.
As to who hired me for the job, I don't know. But they're after me too, along with Luskop and their friends in the MI. Once you're done in the competitive intelligence circuit, you don't have allies. You're radioactive.
Laws cap. These people engineer financial disasters in second world countries. The conglomerate also includes the Bank of Consecration, Airberg, and the popular Papalolo line of dairy products.
Well, that's a lot of shit you've gotten yourself into.
It is. Many people lost their jobs. Not just C-suite. Ordinary people. What I did to get to accounting, a lot of people got hurt. But that's just more of my shit you shouldn't have to deal with. You're solving a murder.
What happened here the night he died?
We were there. Together. In bed, I mean.
Tell me exactly what happened.
Okay. He was in a kneeling position. He had just entered me. I was on my back, looking at him. I heard the window behind me shatter, and I turned to look. There was a hole in the glass. I turned back to him. His eyes were looking through me, and his mouth was open. Dumb. I could see. I could.
Her chest rises and falls with each word. She keeps herself together and says it.
I knew he was dead. Before he fell down on top of me.
Then what happened?
He was heavy. I pushed him off and he fell to the floor. There. He only had his boots on. I bit the pillow, not to scream, then ran downstairs. I waited for the second shot to come. For me. I thought there would be one. It never came.
Interesting.
She's forgotten about her cigarette. The butt has burned right down to her fingernails.
Your cigarette, miss.
Oh.
Sorry this happened to you. I'm sorry this happened to
So
you.
am I.
What time was this? When did it happen? It would help us if you could be as precise as possible.
11:30 to 12:15. I don't know the exact time. Around midnight.
It's okay. Were you inebriated?
Not as much as usual. He'd done a line, plus other things. I was drinking.
Wait. Titus said she was gurning her jaw off, much more than usual.
Titus said you looked pretty high.
Oh, yeah. I did one of his lines, just to clear my head.
Did you hear or see the shooter in the course of this?
No,
What'd you do then?
nothing. I was trapped. I was stuck in my room downstairs. I got some clothes on and crawled back up, drew the blinds. Blood was coming from his mouth. Not a lot, just a little. He was still on the floor, slouched. I couldn't be there with him anymore, so I ran down and out of my room, into the hallway, down the stairs. I knew there would be people there.
When it happened, did you hear a gunshot?
When he was shot? I may have. I don't know. I couldn't hear anything over the glass exploding.
Would the people after you have killed him?
That's the first thing that went through my head when I heard the glass break. I thought they'd found me. They've killed him to punish me. All last week, I've tried not to talk to anyone or be seen with anyone so they wouldn't be hurt. I've come to understand, however, this is paranoia. What happened didn't have anything to do with me.
It probably didn't.
Or, I don't know anything anymore. All I do is wait here.
We can't go after loose cap. Not yet. There are other, saner leads.
I agree with that.
I don't ask you to, Lieutenant. If there's one thing I know, it's that you'll get nothing from there.
What happened after you ran downstairs?
Sylvie was tending the bar. A lot of people were there. The Hardys were at the table in front of the stage. I think the Union box was full. Ruby was there too. They were having such a good time. I sat down and they all welcomed me. I didn't even have to say anything. Ruby knew something was wrong.
Ruby?
Before we continue, who is Ruby?
Ruby. You know, the leader.
The leader? Of what?
The Hardy Boys.
I thought Hardy was the leader of the Hardy Boys.
Well, nominally, yes. Ruby's the one they go to when things happen, like things they need taken care of. She's the organizer.
Okay.
This Ruby, in her phrasing, is entrusted with great power. She trusts her. So do the others.
Would you say she is the 8th Hardy Boy?
Why not?
Okay, let's go on with that.
Well, Ruby said let's talk upstairs. I showed her the room. I've known these people since December. They know my situation, that I can't leave a paper trail. Ruby was the first one I told. She said she'd take care of this. It's what she does, you know, take care of things. I helped her get the body to the bathroom. We used a belt to pull him up under the shower, to keep him upright.
To produce lividity, matching a hanging?
Yes.
We completely missed the tampering. Looks like you got there in time. What was this, 20 minutes after death?
About 20, yes. Ruby explained it would make the blood... You know what he does.
Then what did you do?
Ruby went outside to talk to Titus and the boys. I was just looking at Lely in the bathroom. I had to put his clothes back on. His armor, too. It was tough, but I've seen him take it off and put it on many times. It took Ruby maybe half an hour to come back with Titus. I'd gotten him ready by then. They carried him out. I knew what they were going to do. Make it look like a hanging. Ruby said they would.
What did you do while they were hanging him?
Ruby said to wait here. She also said I wouldn't see her for a while. That we should lay low or something. So I did.
This Ruby, where is this Ruby?
I don't know. I haven't seen her since.
We will need to take this question to the Hardy Boys.
Interesting. Why did this Ruby go through so much trouble to hide something someone else did? Look into this later.
Why did you call the cops if you're hiding?
Because I'm an idiot.
Which is an indicator of truth. Idiot. She's nothing of the sort.
I don't think so. Why did you do it? So you would have us believe, but you're not.
You have to understand. The people around here. No one was making the call, and he kept rotting. And then they picked his clothes off, and that little fucker threw stones at him.
Her jaw is clenched. Her throat moves. It takes all her strength not to cave in and sob. Once. Just one time.
He kept throwing stones at him for 3 days. I could hear the thud. Thud. So I called you. I hope with all my heart it's not the last thing I do in Ravachol.
She definitely called the cops. That was task complete. It could not have been a lie. That is impossible.
When was the window changed?
Last week. Angus and Titus's brother, I think he's called Tibbs, took care of it.
You should have another look at that window after this. Reconstruct the scene. It's right there.
In her bedroom inside?
Yes, You see the glass sparkling out of the corner of your eye.
Did you kill Ellie?
What? Why would I put myself through this insanity? Get myself cornered like this? He wouldn't have died if it weren't for me. I know that. But I would never hurt him.
It could have been a desire murder. Maybe an act of jealousy. He was a serviceman. He must have had a gun. Somewhere, lying around, close to her hand.
Bizarre drives people loco.
She simply shakes her head.
You must have had a weapon nearby. Did you use that?
No. I specifically asked him not to carry firearms when he was with me. He only had his stupid armor.
Downstairs people have this crazy idea that you killed them.
I'm sad to hear that. They must have said it in some fit of frustration or under pressure. They couldn't have meant it. I've talked to them after it happened. No one has implicated me.
It's okay if you did it in self-defense.
I did not kill him to defend myself from rape. I told you before. That wasn't what happened.
True, sire. 'Tis true.
Okay, I'd like you to answer some other questions, miss.
Like what?
Nothing else for now.
She nods, silently. She doesn't even smoke. Just picks up the cold coffee and holds it in her hands. He's thinking, are we done here?
Don't have any volition. Let's try the volition just to see what happens.
She looks back. Time moves slowly. The triangles of her face rearranging into a weary smile. Don't worry. We will protect you from her beauty. We will consult you through the reefs and sounds of her persona. We will see through deceits. You are shielded. You are wise. You are advised. There are muscles on long white bones that line her limbs, just below the silver jumpsuit.
Avert your
The
eyes.
strange moment ends. It was brief, no longer than 2.2 seconds.
Okay, I want to do drama, so we're going to do drama in a second. Drama. Drama.
You finally made it, haven't you? People point fingers at you and whisper to each other when you pass by, wondering to themselves, where did that man get such a cool jacket? Did he receive it upon graduating the École Normale Supérieure de Badasserie? Is he dangerous?
Damn right I'm dangerous.
You are very dangerous, my friend. Dangerous and cool. In fact, no one dares to say a single thing about the jacket. But believe me, they are all very impressed.
Let's try
Officer.
this.
It's a fine day for questions.
83? Let's try it.
Who? What? Dear God, you've been lied to. She could have killed her lover and lied to everyone. She's not candid at all. She's smoke and mirrors and willow wisps. She probably didn't give you her real name either. Why would she? Arrest her immediately. before she further entangles you in her web of lies.
Your real name isn't this.
I agree. You wouldn't give us your real name, not when people are after you.
Okay.
Okay, what?
Okay, it's not.
Good, you can tell me the truth.
You log your work every week. It's all transmitted to Common, sir. I couldn't just beg you not to enter my name. So I lied. Like I lied before. Like I did at LCSB. I have to lie all the time. I'm so tired of it.
Was the passport bullshit too? That passport you keep hidden?
No. It's submerged in a plastic buoy on the coast, in the reeds. It just doesn't say Clausia Amandu. It says Anouk Mea Smith.
Falsified documents?
Passport and visa. Given to me by my employer. I can't even use them. My employer probably leaked the name, Mea Smith, to hurt me.
Why would they do that?
I didn't show up to a rendezvous. They don't take that lightly. I didn't show up because I was afraid they'd do something to me. The job was finished. I'm just a liability now.
Where is this buoy?
West of the boardwalk, in the reeds, on the coast there. I put it there when I first arrived. Haven't been there since. I'm not sure I could even find it now. It's useless.
Just the boardwalk and the reeds. We have to check this buoy out.
The lieutenant makes a note of it.
You're welcome to it. It's in the reeds northwest of here, past a broken sewage pipe, right near the waterline.
Tell me your real name.
It's Katarzyna Lazie.
It's a Grad name, Jimsk or Yugo-Grad in origin. Not Occidental at all. Smells of motor oil, tiger, economic desolation, and rock music-infused alcoholism.
Hold on. Your name is not in Orange's name, is it?
My parents
God.
were Zhimsk immigrants, but I'm nationalized Oranese. All I remember is Oranie. Alasie is my father's name.
Finally we meet.
She nods. Her round eyes meet yours. They seem moist from the wind on the roof. She nods, her back straight, ready for whatever is next.
You know, I think you didn't make the call to the station.
I did. What is this? I called your desk or whatever it is. The numbers are all over town. Call 8-100-2 for emergencies. There was an older woman on the other end. It sounded like she was smoking. She took my complaint. She coughed.
That is the emergencies desk number. Anyone could know that, sire, by looking around and calling the desk. I don't believe a single word she says.
What time did you make the call?
Thursday night. It was late, sometime after 12.
It checks out.
Anyone could know that number, and that someone coughed. It means nothing.
But I know the time of the call, too. I know I have not been 100% truthful with you, officers. But I am now.
What if I told you you're under arrest?
But I haven't done anything. Anything illegal.
She purposefully misrepresented information crucial to the case. Fucking mind games. Enough. That's right, gang. Stern and merciless now. Stern and merciless as we reel her in.
You're suspect in a murder investigation. You're a flight risk. That is all the reason I need.
The lieutenant produces a pair of handcuffs.
Wonder what's gonna happen.
Please, no. I think I know who did it. I know who shot Leslie. You know it wasn't me. Why would I do it? I have no motive.
What do you know? Who shot him?
She's silent for a second, as if looking into herself for certainty. Then, in a hushed voice, she says,
Ruby.
Why do you think it was her?
She has this thing for me. Ever since I met her and the boys downstairs. She's been pretty frank about what she wants.
And what is that?
Sex. And more. I made the mistake of confiding in her. I told her I was on the run. She started protecting me. It became an unhealthy relationship. When I started spending time with Lely, she told me to end it. Said there would be shit if I didn't. It was not a good meeting. We stopped talking after that, but...
I don't understand. What exactly in your relationship made you think she's romantically interested in you?
She said she's in love with me. She even asked me to run away with her when I told her I'm a fugitive. She started developing notions about our relationship.
And you led her on?
A little. I was flattered, you know? But then I had to let her off, and it was not easy. I came to regret being friendly with her. We maybe kissed, nothing more.
Sounds like she's fixated on you.
This is just an assumption.
I know what it sounds like. That's why I didn't want to tell you before. But she knew what had happened when I came downstairs.
Okay.
Somehow, she knew Lely was dead. She wasn't surprised at all. When we came up here, she was calm as a stone, too. She cleaned it all up like she had a plan.
This is a familiar theory. You had it too, remember? Could it be that Ruby was covering up after herself? The lynching?
When Ruby said that there would be shit happening if you didn't end your relationship with the deceased, was she threatening you?
She came over one night, drunk, said she'd turn my life into a living hell. I've been threatened before, so I can tell when someone knows how to do it. And she's a pro. She must be. To keep the Hardys in line. I tried severing ties with her after that. I thought it had worked, but...
Some of that fear is still with her. She exhales sharply. What are you talking about? She's afraid you'll arrest her.
And how could she have killed him?
You've been trying to kick that door down, right? Maybe it leads downstairs. She could have come to the roof through that, then taken the shot right here, where I stand. It was dark outside. I wouldn't have seen her.
Interesting theory. Did she know that door exists? Had you been out there with her?
Yes, of course. She's been up here many times, jacking private stations off the ring antenna. She used to come here to drink on the roof with me, before it got weird.
Okay, that's it for Ruby.
Okay. And what? Arrest the liar now.
That's all good, but I think we should still take you in just in case.
Still? After all this, sir, please. It's a shitty world, and I know I'm shitty too. I know. But I don't deserve to be sent to the moral intern and ground into paste just because I disturbed the sanctity of accounting. That's some multinational...
She's gearing up for a last stand. This is it.
What do you deserve then?
I don't know. To spend my days with smoke, and drink and dance, wallowing in shit. just like everyone else.
What other option do I have?
You have those station calls, right? Where I have to show up at the station or I'll become a fugitive. You can write me one. You don't have to take me in right now. I promise I won't go out anymore at night. I'll be right here. I know you can do that. Just let me come in on my own. In 2 months, or maybe even 1 month. That's all I need.
You do have the form.
By God, she's playing him too. Like a fiddle, sire. Who would have known?
It will have changed in 2 months or 1 month.
Everything could change. This city, the extradition rules, the people after me could be in jail. Or maybe Revachol. Maybe Revachol could be free. I could be tried in a free Revachol. An independent state that doesn't hand its detainees over to the moral intern.
I find that hard to believe, miss.
I also find it hard to believe.
Don't. The world can change. It has changed before.
That's not the answer she was hoping for. Thought that you were some kind of patriot or communard, did she?
I've made my choice.
She looks at you in silence, her face filled with fear, lips parted. Wait. If you arrest her, Kim will have to transport her. You'd be without your partner for the rest of the day. Shut up. He's making a decision, and it's his to make.
Let's write you a station call. If you miss it, I can't help you anymore.
I won't.
She takes the slip, shaking visibly, then she collects herself.
This may have been a grave mistake, sire.
I promise I will be right here all the time, nights too. I'll help you any way I can in this investigation, and I will be at Station 41 in 6 weeks. I promise.
Let's change the subject for the time being.
She slowly lights another cigarette and steadies her breath, as if in the presence of some tiger. You are. This is not the end of this.
Okay, we'll return later. So, I got some points to spend. Don't know what I want to spend it on though, so we'll wait a little bit on that. Okay, we need to inspect the buoy, we need to talk to Titus about River's location, find the armored gloves. I need to sing karaoke at some point. And how do we get this door open?
The same small, heavy door. No lock
I need
in
physical
sight.
instrument for it, okay. We'll wait a little bit on that. Armor, some karaoke. Let's go talk to Titus. After we look at this window. Inspect the window again.
This window is pristine on the inside, unlike the one next to it. Light from the desk lamp reflects off the glass in an untarnished golden halo.
What happened here?
Golden light melts away into the blue, glassy darkness of your mind. In it are two neon-lit shapes, a man and a woman on the single bed.
What position are they in?
Like the witness said, the man is kneeling, the woman is on her back, It's the night of March 4th and a shot has just been fired. The man looks directly at the woman. The shot's possible directions converge in his mouth, a ray cast from somewhere outside, entering his brain.
Where does it come from?
From the roof outside, location A prime. The glass fractures around the bullet hole. Shards face inwards like a corona behind the woman's back.
Inspect the ghostly figures.
The man does not know the bullet has entered his brain. He never will. Death comes faster than the realization.
Have a look at point A.
The ray cast from the man's mouth unravels into a fan of possible directions, all on the roof at first. The shot could have come from any of them. This is composite location A prime, most likely of the origin points.
Shouldn't there be gun residue outside?
There could have been. Then the rain and slush and wind washed it away. This was more than a week ago.
So I'm what, 8% sure the roof is where the shot was made from?
72%. With a weapon that's good for medium range, like a rifle or sports pistol. This is a good short distance, but not too short. The perpetrator aimed with their back against the railing, or possibly kneeling for precision. This would explain why it only took them one shot. The lights were on in here. Outside it was dark. It was like shooting fish in an aquarium, a well-lit aquarium. The victim opened his mouth to let the bullet in. Neither of them would have seen anything outside, in the darkness, too busy with their own bodies.
Could the shot have come from inside the room, a closer point?
Point X would contradict the woman's testimony, rendering the entire proposition void. These figures would be wiped out, detective.
Are there any arguments against A prime, the roof?
None that you've found thus far, but that doesn't mean there aren't any.
Could there have been another point of origin further away?
That's a 28%, yes. In this model, the shot could have come from a greater distance. Nothing excludes the possibility. Should we extrapolate to include every possible point of origin in Martinez?
Extrapolate the radius to include all of Martinez.
According to your map of the district, this shot could have come from a wide angle of locations, starting with the northern edge of the abandoned boardwalk, ending with an islet in the bay. Let's call them B prime.
More
B
precisely.
prime for boardwalk, B double prime for Land's End, and B triple prime for the islet, detective. There may be smaller points in between, but those are too fine to zoom in on.
Have a look at point B, the boardwalk.
700 meters away. The likeliest of these B positions, 20% chance. A skilled sniper could have made the shot, provided he had a safe sniper's nest. Even with the light on inside, we're talking military training. At that distance, the perpetrator would have had to take wind direction into account.
Have a look at point B, Land's End.
1.2 kilometers away, the least likely of these positions. Let's say 3%. A truly skilled sniper could have done it, possibly from a tent. No, too far-fetched.
Have a look at point B, the islet.
1 kilometer away, a point beyond the docks, on an islet in the bay. The fort is ruined, but the perpetrator may have found a stable spot on the beaches surrounding it, where the concrete crumbles into the sea, as you saw in the coin-operated viewer. The shot would have been a small miracle, 5% likelihood. There is an extremely narrow field of view from the bay to the window, between Rue de Saint-Ghislain 10 and 33A. The angle would have been extreme, and access to the islets is questionable.
Kim, do you think the shot could have come from further than the roof in Martinez?
From where, precisely?
Let's say B prime, the boardwalk, B double prime, Land's End, B triple prime, the islet.
I see you have given this a lot of thought. Are those the locations you've singled out in addition to the roof? And what is the likelihood, in your opinion, that it came from a further distance?
Much less than the roof, but still.
Okay, well, we should see if there is gunshot residue or sniper nests if we go down the coast. Rule these spots out one by one.
Yes.
It would be the diligent thing to do. Until then, personally, I'm going with the roof version. A simple hypothesis can be wrong, but it's something to build on.
I agree. Blink. That's so cool when that happens. I love that. I think visual calculus is one of my favorite skills. Okay, I need to change my clothes again. Suggestion. Perception. And then vampire. Logic. Visual calculus. Okay, that's good for now. I gotta talk to the guy about singing karaoke, and we have got to talk to Titus again about Ruby's location, see if we can get it from him.
Hey, was there something you needed?
I need to sing karaoke now. We'll wait a little bit. Okay, Titus, we're back again.
It's you again. What is it?
Okay, I talked to her again. Now I need to talk to Ruby.
Why?
Because she's the real
You're
leader.
cuckoo, cop. I'm the only man responsible for this unit. Get with it, or fuck off.
How many times must I tell you?
Yeah, fuck off!
Civil war is brewing, and the only way to prevent it is to solve the murder. That means talking to Ruby.
Sounds like you wanna push this steaming pile of shit on anyone. And now you picked Ruby. Well, not on my watch you won't. Ruby's one of us. We're not gonna throw her under your moral intern steamroller. Fuck that shit.
And fuck you too, moral
Ruby is missing. If you hide from the police in a murder investigation, you become a suspect. You know how it works, guys.
That's nothing. That's just legalese. You don't even have a sound theory. I don't want to be rude, but we're trying to get some R&R here. Think you could fuck off now?
I think we'll keep sticking around, Titus. You'll be surprised at how quickly a theory presents itself if you keep looking.
From the corner of your eye, you see a little bird fly into the bush, right behind the window, behind Titus's back. A sudden flash of lightning in your neocortex. The hostel cafeteria is lit by its airy blaze. Floor plans, bullet trajectories, Webs of human emotion, all channeled into a single thought.
Why are you so sure Ruby didn't off him?
Because she was here, all night, with us.
He's cobbling together shit so he can put her away. It's Cop 101.
She was here all night? 11:30 to 12:15? She was here during all that time?
Yeah, with us, drinking, near the stage there.
She can go to the toilet.
No.
In the whole 45-minute window, she was with you all that time.
All right. She took a fucking leak, okay? For one moment. Maybe went out too. She has an operation to run from her lorry. We're not getting into what that operation is again, Cop.
That's probably for the best. Don't break your stride now.
And just 'cause she was gone for 5 minutes doesn't mean she magically got to the roof and shot him. I've been through this. It's not plausible.
All right, we're in. We got Ruby unaccounted for sometime during the window. This was crucial. Now let's place her on that roof. You got his attention. Now don't ruin it by making weird claims. Remember, you can still mess this up.
Have you noticed the winch out back on the outer walls are whirling?
I've seen the winch. I'm not blind. You saying she reeled herself up by her collar, like some kind of...
You can't come up with an analogy.
Kidding?
Let's go with that. Point is, it's just a rusty winch. It doesn't put her on the roof.
Ruby could have gotten to the roof from somewhere inside the whirling.
Nah, the only way up there is through Clausia's room.
How much do you guys know about this place?
We've only been drinking here for what? 6 years? How much do we know?
Been thinking of getting wilding in racks. That is on my ass, boss.
There you go. Tatted on his ass. We know the place.
There's a locked door in the kitchen and another on the roof. Ever been through those?
No, but that doesn't prove anything.
It proves you don't know everything.
It's just 2 dolls. We're not giving you Ruby for that. She's one of us.
What if they're connected by the winch, Eugene? That is your name, right, Eugene? If they're connected, she could have gone to the kitchen, gone up, shot him on the roof, then come down. All in 5 minutes. How about that?
Yes, she could have. This is one long shot. Tell you one thing. I liked how that goddamn winch came up again. That was nifty.
You do agree that the shot came from the roof, right?
Why not? You can't draw a straight line into Clausia's window from any of the surrounding buildings. Not from what I know about Martinez. Maybe from the coast. But like I said, I've been too busy dealing with you idiots. So no, I don't think it was a sniper. It was close up.
There's a 72% chance that the bullet came from the roof.
72%. There's a percentage and all. Where'd you get it from? Your guys in the lab?
I analyzed it on the spot. Turns out I can do that.
No, you can't. I know what you did here on the weekend. People talk. And what they say doesn't sound like a science cop. You're a madman.
Those numbers were an ass pull, man.
Yeah, and they don't put her on the roof either. It's just mambo jambo. He hasn't got shit.
Have we firmly established Ruby could have access to the roof where the man was shot?
Firmly? Try shit on a stick. All you've established is a possible route to the roof that you haven't found. And even then, a route doesn't put that bullet in the Burke's head. A gun does that, and Ruby doesn't carry one.
Phase 2. Murder weapon. Get a gun in her hand. If not that, then at least a shadow of a doubt. In the shape of a gun. Just don't contradict yourself. If it doesn't sound like Ruby did it, maybe keep it to yourself.
Local pawn shop sold my lost gun to a woman. Maybe it was her.
You lost your gun? What an idiot!
Tell me, did you lose it before the murder? You didn't, and Ruby didn't use you.
Stop thinking about your lost gun, damn it. You'll get a heart attack.
This was merely a thought exercise. He did not lose his gun. Let's move on.
Already established Ruby's running drugs. She could have smuggled guns too.
God damn. That's just about your favorite topic, isn't it? Every fucking 5 seconds.
You were warned not to bring it up. Your best shot here is to just back out of it.
Fine, Titus, I'm not getting into it if it touches on your precious business.
Okay, cop. She's got connections. I could see how she could have access to a gun. That still doesn't mean she did.
That's all you needed. Doubt.
I didn't say I'd prove she had the murder weapon, just that we need to find her.
I don't know, cop. Why don't you find your lost gun first?
Easy now, Al. This isn't comedy hour.
Titus, we're not seriously considering it, are we? Ruby wouldn't do this. Why would she do something like this?
Phase 3. Motive. The last component. The big one. Get this and they'll give her to you. Remember, don't piss him off. That never works.
It's not why did she kill him, it's why did she organize the cover-up.
And I suppose you have a theory on that.
She could have just been covering up for herself,
Think
Titus.
about it. Why go through all that effort? It was her idea, wasn't it? The hanging. You went along, but she suggested it.
She had, like, a fully formed plan and shit. Right when she came back downstairs.
Really, Shanks? Claudia wanted to talk to another girl, that's all. She was just the first one up there. I could have come up with that plan if I'd have been first.
Time for a logics demonstration.
Shanky, let's assume you killed him.
I didn't do it, fucker. It wasn't my plan.
You probably did, though.
It's just a thought experiment. Think, Shanky. You killed him. You got up there, shot him, cut down.
But would you prefer to go to trial? But would you prefer to go on trial with your buddies as part of a lynch mob, or alone for committing murder?
Fuck you, man. I would never fuck my guys over like that.
She didn't either. She would never do that. Why aren't more of you defending her? This is fucking stupid, Titus.
Glenn, I thought the same thing when she skipped town and left us in this shit.
Oh, so he didn't rule her out completely. And she's skipped town. This is good.
That is good. When she came downstairs, Ruby appeared to know that something was wrong.
Nah, man. That's just Ruby. She's got shit under control. That's her whole thing. That's why she's so good.
Plus, man, it's like female intuition, you know. Women talk to women. Which is sort of why we need someone on the team who they talk to.
Eugene wants a woman on the team so they can do their job. That must be hard. Half of Martinez is female.
Yes, female intuition, that's what it was. You're right, Eugene.
Yeah, exactly. Why not, man?
Wishful thinking has no place in a police investigation. A more serious consideration that you wish to avoid is that she knew what happened because she did it.
Maybe it's all part of a leadership challenge against Titus.
There's no fucking leadership challenge. Just when I thought you were taking this seriously, cop, you put your head in your ass.
Man, now he's just throwing shit against the wall to see what sticks.
Okay, we've ruled out infighting. That's how this works, by exclusion. Remember, all we need to do is rule Ruby out too. That's all this is.
There's a bit of truth in there for Titus to react so brashly. He does not like his authority questioned.
Titus, you have to see it. Things don't add up. We need to talk to her.
Silence. He looked the old man in the corner, nods. A very small nod, and a trickle of tobacco spit on his lip. This is the only option he cares for.
Yeah, I see it. There's one more thing I've been wondering about, ever since you asked me where she is. Add it to your list of suspicions, if you want. I don't know where she went. She just got up and left. Got real scared, too. Wouldn't tell me where. However hard I asked. Want to know why?
Why?
She was afraid I would tell you. Maybe she was right. By now, I probably would.
She knew there's evidence on her, and she knew we'd find it. This is typical suspect behavior, why fleeing is always incriminatory.
Perhaps. Ask her if you find her. It won't be easy, though. She made sure of that.
When did she leave?
Friday afternoon, when you first arrived. I got word the RCM was in town. Then she came in to see me. Told me she was leaving. That's when we had our little conversation.
What was she scared of?
I told you. You.
Me as in the RCM?
No, you. As in the cop with the sideburns and the disco clothes.
No idea why she's scared. I'm just a normal cop with regular thoughts in my head.
Sure. No. You know, when I first saw you limping here, I thought she was paranoid or sniffing her own supply. But now I'm not so sure.
What else did Ruby tell you about me?
She said you have a funny taste in clothes and that you won't stop.
Won't stop.
Until you have something on her. She said she's heard of you from Jamrock, that you're a human can opener, that you play suspects against each other, open them up like cans.
Fucking hell. Titus, did he just...
Open Angus up like a can? Yes, he did. Now, we can whine about it, whack him, or we can go on with our lives. I'm having a go on with our lives kind of day, Al. How about you?
It's not an actual question. Silence. He nods.
Is that true, Kim? Am I a can opener?
You are insistent.
Anything else? Anything?
Yeah, there was something else. She wouldn't tell me, though. I could see she wanted to. It was burning on her lips. This cop, Titus. This cop, he... But she was too scared.
Do you have any clues on where Ruby went?
She's not far. We know that much. She didn't take her lorry, so she's on foot.
Good fucking luck, man. She knows this place like the back of her hand. You'll never find her.
Yeah, Al. And we won't either.
She's not really a hardy candidate anymore, is she?
She's not, Glenn.
Have you looked for her?
A little. On the coast.
Where have you looked for her, more precisely?
More precisely, on the coast, past the waterlock. She's not here, so I'm thinking she's there.
Can you tell me where on the coast I should start looking?
Sure, there's some shithouses there. A cinderblock town. The fisherfolk there refuse to unionize, so that's one place we haven't looked. I hear they have a shack where junkies sometimes crash. Time for you to step up.
We will start there. One more question. What does Ruby look like?
Boyish. Hair's red. Dyed. She looks like a Lowry man.
Do you know what she's doing with Ulan, whatever, Ulan frequencies?
The what now? I have no idea. Boys?
She said she's building a pale emitter.
What?
We were talking about radio equipment. She said she's doing Ulan frequencies and a pale something. I don't know more.
This guy barely understands what he's talking about.
There you have it. Pale something.
That's not much, but it'll do.
It'll have to.
Shake it.
His grip is firm and reassuring, like holding a piece of unpolished granite. Not just granite, tightly packed RCM Sergeant material.
Should be a cop, Titus.
When are you gonna get it through your dumb head? I already am. I just wasn't sure you were.
And he still isn't. People aren't afraid of good cops in the way Ruby was afraid of you, he thinks, then turns back to his men.
Okay, that was freaking cool as hell. Ruby in the village, determine where the shot came from. The buoy. I gotta find armor and gloves in the village too, so this is all fine. Was it physical instrument that I needed? Let's go out here for a second.
The same small, heavy door. No.
Okay. Discipline level up. What's the other thing I wanted? I either wanted rhetoric or visual calculus. That's good enough for now.
The same small, heavy door. No lock in sight.
Got 3%.
The same small, heavy door. No
Let's
lock
try this
in
8%.
sight.
I don't think I'm gonna get lucky, but we're gonna try. Oh, I got lucky? Maybe?
This time, something cracks inside.
Well, damn, I got insanely lucky.
It is an unbelievably satisfying sound.
Nice.
Well, sounds like this time the property damage was at least resolutive. Would it hurt to look in?
I thought it was on Ace's high moment, Kim.
I don't know about that.
Let's see. Let's go in. Let's see what's going on here. There's a tiny hole in the wall. You see a bedroom on the other side.
You can almost see the shape of a man and a woman writhing inside, bathed in drug sweat and dirty linens. Bottles lie around everywhere.
I think I can see into the lady's bedroom from
You
here.
can barely see through. Better not to jump to sensationalist conclusions here. The footprints on the floor, however, definitely suspicious.
What were these people doing in there?
You lean closer to the peephole instinctively. I bet they're doing something quite unnatural there. Sensationally unnatural.
Finish the thought.
You clearly see footprints in the downy carpet of dust covering the workshop floor.
Jackpot. These, unlike everything else here, are new.
Someone's been here within the last week or two.
3 weeks maximum, from the dust coverage. It could easily have been 1 week too. You know, officer, this isn't bad at all. It was a good idea to see where that door leads. Commendable work bringing us to this place.
Why, thank you, sir. Let's have a closer look at them.
Large prints, most likely made by Boots. The size is hard to determine. Sole could be bigger than Vamp. The soles have left a pattern, uniform, horizontal lines. This print is unlike one left by a regular worker boot. It is not a brand sole with logos on it. It seems custom-made or old-fashioned. Shoe size is 41 to 42, maybe 43. It could be a large-footed woman or a small to average-footed man. This is, unfortunately, the worst, most vague shoe size there is.
This print doesn't look like the odd-soled prints we found at the hanging camp.
The size looks about the same, actually. They're not the same shoe, but they could be the same person.
This doesn't look like the worker's boot from hanging, does it?
No. These little horizontal lines are different. They look custom-made to me. Or some kind of foreign print. Hard to say. Still a boot, though.
Everything around you is quiet. The prints crisscross the workshop floor.
What does this mean?
It means someone snuck through what seemed like a secret route, leading to the roof, from where you can shoot our victim. This is significant. These prints, officer, could be the prints of our killer.
I agree. Okay. Pinball machine has been taken apart and gutted. It's over here. Pinball maker's coat. Cool, I'll take that, thank you. Schematics for a pinball machine, futurism themed, okay. Boxes of tools and replacement parts line the shelves. Small windows taped shut with black plastic. You can't see outside. Okay, let's go down. This pinball is a white Dora. The black glass shows a female figure in mourning. A note, NB, the spare key is tied to the bush outside the corner room window. Some money.
Over there, in the corner.
The pinball machine?
Not just any pinball machine. This is the pinnacle of pinball. Cornelius Gordy and the Mountain Goats. It's lit. You can't wait to get your hands on it. Lit, a phrase almost synonymous with the Insulindian pinball scene. Any pinball scene, really.
Kim, are you seeing what I'm seeing?
The pinball machine. Gordy's Goats, a classic.
Wait, you've played it?
A little.
Take a closer look then. 1 second. I'm going to put my interfacing gloves on and I should be fine.
Bent metal, broken glass. Your path lies strewn with the broken forms of everyday objects. You are the destroyer, the bane of inanimate matter.
Gaze upon me, stuff in despair.
Kudos. Over there,
Okay,
in the not just lit, a phrase almost
take a closer
synonymous.
look.
Ah, great.
Cornelius Gordy and the Mountain Goats reads the golden lettering on top of the back box. There's a small column of text underneath. The machine is coin operated. Get the game on, Fingerboy. Those flippers are ready.
And closer to read the text.
Above the painting of a mustached man climbing a hill, a column reads, inspired by the legend of Cornelius Gordy, taken on the world's tallest peak, Corpus Muindi. The Mesk legend holds that when the nation is in danger, heroic Gordy shall return and save his people.
Inspect the playing field.
The theme of the game is to explore Gordy's climb through the perspective of goats and to ascend to the top of the mountain in a time of trouble. The peak of the mountain is at the top of the playfield. All the balls have small goat icons on them and represent the goats as they race up and down the mountain. Areas around the playfield represents Gordy's climb, places he was said to have camped, which the goats can discover. Get them to the summit.
What's with all the goats?
Indeed. Think of them as balls.
Well, I have enough money, so let's go for it.
It takes a while to get into a rhythm, but pretty soon you're able to keep 3 goat-faced balls in play with relative ease.
Achievement unlocked. Goat ball is lit.
Go, go, Fingerboy.
I feel sorry for the goats. If they only knew the kind of guy old Cornelius really was.
What kind of guy was he then?
The kind of a guy who uses the word savages a lot when recounting his travels. A Mesk nationalist.
A racist mountaineer.
An avid huntsman too. He was often photographed in his dining hall, surrounded by wall-mounted hunting trophies from every continent.
Technically, human beings are at the top of the food chain, so...
He also hit his wife and kids. Other people's kids too. Sometimes pets. Hateful little man. But you seem to be having fun.
I'm pretty good at this. Continue playing.
Your game is definitely improving. The jolly goats are flying all over the board, and although a few plummet to their deaths, you're never left with less than 3. Suddenly, a special passage leading to the summit slides open at the top of the board. This is where the balls need to go.
Concentrate and aim for the narrow passage.
Maneuvering a goat ball into a position for a perfect hit isn't easy. More fall to their deaths. But finally, the opportunity presents itself. One of them gets through. Tiny hammer shatters something inside the machine. Something glass. The words "Pale Rupture" light up on the speaker panel, and the machine starts filling with a thick, milky fog. Something's happening.
Congratulations. This is where the game ends. It's a cheap way of getting more money out of the players. A stupid, nihilistic finale.
There's so much fog, you can barely see anything. Some is actually leaking out of the machine, and one by one, your goats start slipping, disappearing into the milky nothingness. This can be navigated. The balls leave almost imperceptible disruptions in the fog. Use them to calculate where they hit next.
Okay, let's try
You're
it.
down to your last goat, going mostly by sound. Eyes are useless at this point, but that goat is something special. 5 times you snatch him back from the jaws of death.
Kim, it can be done, just watch.
I am. I've seen it before. Played it too. You will eventually make a mistake and then it's all over.
Let's try it.
Ow, if you can't even see it. The last goat plummets into the fog with almost suicidal glee. There goes nothing, finger boy.
Well, I at least tried it, which I am proud of myself for doing.
You see a heavy steel door with a prominent dimple lock. It's painted blue.
This door is connected to the one upstairs, but how do we get through?
There must be a key somewhere. Probably somewhere in the whirling. It's not too important. We can get in and out using the roof door.
Okay.
This small elevator is dimly lit by a bulb that's been glowing for ages. The latticed cage is open, inviting you to step inside.
Okay.
Smells of nougat and sweat. Your head brushes up against the ceiling. There is a control panel to your right, and just enough room for 2 people to fit in. The maintenance card under the control panel reads, Last maintenance, 10th July, 88. This elevator must have been used to transport pinball machines to and from the upstairs workshop.
Look at the elevator controls.
There are large rectangular buttons, monter, descend, and an international call for emergency assistance. That third one appears to be broken. A small steel plaque reads Halter 800. Halter is a Koningsteiner lift company who went out of business a long time ago.
So it's mostly pinball machines riding this elevator.
Seems so, although it's pretty quaint for a freight elevator.
Close the door and go up.
So this is where they brought 40 pinball machines to fix them up, a long time ago. Everything is covered with dust now. The lieutenant looks around the dusty, crowded room, inspecting the tools on the shelf.
Looks like they gave up on fixing the pinball machines at some point.
At some point, 20 years ago, 15 maybe, before pinball went out of vogue.
This used to be a pinball workshop.
Looks like it. I'm guessing Martinez North 22 used to be a pinball arcade before it became a hostel. There are machines left over.
A creak. Some dust falls off a shelf.
Downstairs in the hall, next to the main door. One of them even works. I've seen one of the hearties bang away at it.
Remember the dice maker? Then that means...
Whirling in Rags was once the East Delta Pinball Arcade. This is all left over from that.
Ah, yes, as the novelty dice makers said. This has absolutely nothing to do with the case, I'm sure. But I do like a nice little connection.
But
Me too,
then
buddy.
it went bankrupt. Your skin crawls from making the connection.
Could this mean the Whirling in Rags is really part of the Doom commercial area?
If that's true, then our cafeteria manager is not going to like it. We should tell him what we found up here, omitting that suspicion. He does not appear to be the kind of man who likes his establishment to be part of a neighborhood ghost story about bankruptcy.
Stupid superstition. But still, it would be interesting to see what the cafeteria manager thinks of this.
I agree.
It's not a ghost story. It's a curse, and Gart ought to be made knowledgeable so he can perform counterspells.
Yeah. Let's go this way. Let's leave. Let's head down to the Gart, and then we're gonna head to the Local village. Okay, I want to do more rhetoric. More visual calculus. I think that's good for now. Okay, let's talk to this dude.
Hey, was there something you needed?
Apparently not. Okay, then let's just head to the coast. Let's go in here real quick. Yellow roses in the window, those aren't the flowers that were left for... What's her name?
A small cabinet on the wall is filled with various medicine bottles, nasal sprays, and blister packs. They all bear the Saint Baptiste from...
Okay,
Oh.
here. I hope Saint Baptiste makes you feel better or something.
Thank you.
Is this about the questions again? Because...
Nope. Let's just leave. Okay, we still gotta worry about the armor number stuff, inspect the traps, start a nightclub. I do want to sing karaoke though. I'll probably do that when Kim goes to bed, maybe? Let's see if they have an answer for us yet.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone.
This is Precinct 57. How may... Yes. I got the mercenary's name and a few biographical details. Are you ready?
Oh damn, I wasn't expecting that to actually happen.
The lieutenant leans in to listen, notebook in hand.
Shoot.
That suit of armor was issued to an Oranese citizen named Ellis Kortenaer. That's E-L-L-I-S K-O-R-T-E-N-A-I-R. Exact date of birth, unknown. He was signed into the Lelystad County Neonatal Care Unit on 28th of February 09.
Care unit?
He was found as a newborn in a leaf compactor near an abandoned farm. He spent
well,
4
damn.
months in the neonatal unit, survived apparently, and was assigned to a foster family at 2. This is what the ICP knows about him. He was raised by foster parents, entered the Eastbrand Military Academy in Vredefort at 17, then served in the Oranese forces till he was honorably discharged in 41, just a year before the Seminese conflict. Then the armor followed him to Seminine, or at least I assume it did. And that's it. There are no records of his employment in Crenel, or any of its other incarnations, or him even entering Revachol.
Wait, he was found in a leaf compactor?
It's a garden tool used to press leaves into these cubes. It's a detail the hospital had, the only detail in these files. So I thought it would be good for you to know.
It is. Thank you, Alice.
Any information on his foster parents?
None, officer. Sorry.
So all we have to connect him to Crenel is the armor.
Even that is a small miracle. These organizations usually double-check their inventory. Thank you, Alice. Great work.
No problem, Lieutenant.
Well, we have his name and service record now.
A name. This is very good. Ellis Kortenaer.
Sometimes police work is about human dignity, about giving back names to anonymous victims.
I'm glad the inquiry was helpful to your investigation, officer. Did you have any other questions?
I'm done with the radio now.
57th, over and out.
In the cabin, you see a set of...
Inspecting traps, doomed hostile. Ruby in the village, so yeah, we're just going to the village now. This way. We've already checked this one. Seems the walker was either very confused or drunk out of his mind.
This is it, the scene of the party. The fire pit, cigarettes, and empty bottles all evidence it.
Hold up, don't you mean the scene of the crime?
Not as such. I'm talking about what came after the party scene.
Yeah, sure. Sure does look like a lot of folks partied here.
Looks like they were here a while, judging from all the bottles. The sunken motor carriage provided them a focal point, like a goose ice sculpture or a chocolate fountain.
Hey Kim, looks like we've had a couple of partygoers here.
Looks like it.
Was this party against the law? On the ice like this, it was probably a public danger.
Not as such, no. Let's keep moving, detective.
Somehow, he doesn't want to dwell on it.
Money! Thank you. Thank you. Okay, anything else here? The underside of the boat has recently been tarred. No kids in here, I think. With the armor. Hello, little one.
Hello, mister.
I heard there's a little girl who has armored gloves. Is that you?
Oh, I had gloves. Very big ones. Heavy, too.
Where did you get these gloves?
Found them when Lemmy and I were playing hide and seek. In an empty house. Where no one lives. I think someone hid them there.
She doesn't want you to think she stole them.
And where are the gloves now?
I hid them. The twins were going to take them. They're stupid.
We are going to need those gloves. It's for important police business.
Oh. They're in my sandcastle. Behind our house. Under the sand. You can break the castle. It's not very good.
Do you know anyone named Ruby?
Ruby. Ruby. My mom tells me I'm a big girl, but she doesn't know that I can't say Earl. Or sometimes I can, but then Uller.
Kids.
Well, kids are cute.
Bye!
Aww. Okay, sandcastle. Sandcastle is over here. Ooh.
Weather has not been kind to Lily's little sandcastle. The once mighty towers are quickly eroding away. You can see something shining back to you from what must have been a vast underground catacomb network.
Broken.
The little castle? The reigning lord must have come upon some really tough times to let it sleep in such decrepitude.
Reach in the catacombs and pull out the shiny object.
The walls and floors give way to the giant's greed, collapse and present you with a pair of ceramic gauntlets.
Congratulations. That's the gauntlets down then. We're doing good on the armor collection front.
Yes, we are. So we technically got the boots. We got the gloves, we got the chest piece. I think we're just missing the trousers now. Okay. That's not it. Determine where the shot came from. Buoy. Inspect the traps. Okay, let's talk to this lady.
Our tenant, the policeman. I hope the waves don't keep you up at night. What can I help you with?
Found this jacket. It's filthy. Could you wash it for me?
I can wash it for you. But it's going to take about a half an hour. Think you can stay put for that long?
No, we must run around ceaselessly. It would be torture to stay put.
I could use a breather. It's been another track and field day.
Yeah, I'll wait.
Well, hand it over then, and I'll see what I can do.
This old lady is so sweet.
Must say, I'm proud of this one. It's pretty nice underneath all that filth. I hope you'll have an easier life in your hands.
Why, thank you. Have you seen a red-haired woman named Ruby around the coast?
Nay, I haven't seen anyone lately.
Okay, but do you know who I'm talking about?
This is my little cinder block town. I know what goes on around here.
She's being evasive. She knows something.
There was a murder in Martinez. She might be a suspect. We would appreciate your help.
Would you now? I know how this world works, and it doesn't work when people tell on each other.
This isn't about the union, you know, we don't have to worry. You don't have to worry about retaliation.
I should have known. This is yet another union mess. I'm not afraid of them, you know. We are not in the habit of being afraid around here.
I see you know something, but you've decided not to tell us.
There's not much to tell. People come and go. Now, was there something else?
I see, ma'am. I hope you don't mind if we look around anyway.
You should look around your shack. Maybe she's rented it out to others too.
What's this? Talk to little kids.
The scruffy-haired little boy kicks a stone while the other watches him do it.
Kids, have you seen any bad people around?
What bad people?
I don't think questioning 4-year-olds without their parents present is going to crack the case.
Oh, okay, well, bye, kids.
The waves are beginning to die down. Look at those little bastards. Simmer down. Simmer down, bastards.
Why does she care about the waves so much?
What is it with you and those waves?
What is it with waves and fishermen? We need to be out there with them, fishing, making a living. So I asked them to accommodate me.
Ah.
But until that happens, I can try to assist you the best I can. So, what will it be, officer?
Looking for someone else, actually.
Oh? Who?
I'm looking for a suspect who might have stayed in this neighborhood.
Okay. When did this person stay here?
Very recently, over the past few days, she might have arrived on Friday.
Oh. I've been out on the sea for most of the past week. The weather's been good for fishing, so I usually start at 4 in the morning.
Really?
Yes, that's the optimal time. Got to make the most of the calm. I've been sleeping like a corpse after. The sea really takes its toll. Now I'm just waiting for the wind to settle to get out there again. Sorry I couldn't help you out. Maybe I can help you find someone else.
Listen, I'm not looking for anyone else right now.
Well, how can I assist you then, officer?
Well, maybe I can ask her out later. Let's head into the little shack and see if there's anything in here that might be of interest. Okay.
As you look at the floorboards in this corner of the shack, it's clear one of them isn't quite level with the others. The edge of a floorboard next to it looks scratched.
Move the board aside.
Hollow space underneath the floorboards is dark and damp. You can barely make out the mixture of sand and sawdust below.
What's in here?
Nothing particular catches your eye. Looks like more reeds. There might be something hidden inside the sand, though. Something bad. Someone's night thoughts. A last resort. A bad idea.
Search through the sand and sawdust.
You stick your hand in and start combing through the sand. Dry, not like outside. Fine dust. And then, something hard wrapped in paper.
What is it?
A small cylindrical object. You pull it out. A bullet. A 9mm bullet, to be exact. Fit for all muzzle loaders of that caliber.
A bullet. Interesting.
The floorboard doesn't care. But maybe the washerwoman does. You have enough to confront her with.
What's in here? Cool, so I got some new stuff. Interfacing. Suggestion. Logic. Empathy. Actually, maybe I should stick with perception. Okay.
As you fold your fingers into a fist, you realize you could knock anyone out with one punch. The white ceramic gloves wrap around your digits comfortably. Your movements cause tiny little clicks, like dice rolling somewhere far away, as the plates reorient to your motions.
I'll be responsible with this. This is just to protect me from harm, not to show off.
The hardened vitreous enamel, at once sleek and voluptuous, adds a glow to your cheeks and a spring to your step. Just imagine what a full suit of this stuff could do for you. You really do feel more confident. Invulnerability does that. Even partial invulnerability.
This gear could line my pockets with cash. I could probably sell it to some other cops. This is long sought after enemy technology. I can't just enjoy it, I must study it.
Remember, this is a highly specialized kinetic redistributor meant to stop bullets. Wear it. A Observe its properties. See if there's a weakness in the design.
Okay. Let's go talk to the washerwoman.
Our tenant, the policeman. I hope the waves don't keep you up at night. What can I help you with?
Why was there a bullet under the floorboards of your shack?
Damn that girl.
And without anger, a long and harsh life has taught her not to buckle under pressure.
A bullet? You didn't put it there, did you? She did.
Gone and hid things in there? She's usually a good tenant, and not a stupid one either.
You rented the room to her?
Yes, I let my room to that Ruby girl.
She speaks slowly, wringing out a rag. After a long silence, her hands move into the water bucket. Some water sloshes over the edge.
As I've done before when she's been in trouble or just looking for solitude. I've made it clear. We welcome all kinds of people here.
When was this?
She came last Friday, left on Monday in a hurry. What has she gotten herself into, that girl?
That's for the police to find out. Right then, please answer each question to the best of your ability. I'm sure we have a few.
You said she left on Monday.
Yes, early with the dogs, around 8 o'clock, I think.
She probably heard the lieutenant's Kanema drive by, and it woke her up, just like it did you.
Kim, she must have heard your Kanema.
Yes. That is a downside of having a 130 kilowatt engine. It lets the bad guys know when you are coming.
Is the room exactly as she left it?
I cleaned it, like I always do.
Was there anything else there?
No.
The truth, sire.
What is she like, Ruby?
She's good company. Knows how to talk to an old woman. At my age, you don't get a lot of quality conversation. So I really appreciate that about her.
This Ruby is an old lady whisperer. She knows how to work the village elder, unlike you.
Did she talk to you much during her last stay?
No, she was mostly silent this time. Kept to herself.
What do you mean?
She tried not to let it show, but I could tell she hadn't come to fish. Usually she likes to cast a few lines, but this time she mostly stayed in her room.
She wanted to talk to her, as they usually do, but she was brooding.
Why do you think she left the bullet there?
How would I know? She's a gruff one, but not violent. She doesn't go around toting a gun.
You could ask her about your hunch, that it was a desperate measure. See if she thinks Ruby fits the bill.
I have a possible explanation in my mind.
Aye. Do tell.
It's an exit plan.
Exit from what?
Her life.
The lieutenant stops writing for a moment. He looks at you, then at the old woman.
No, she's a fighter.
She really believes that.
Heard she was a heavy drinker, with anger issues. You ever witnessed that kind of behavior?
Nothing of the sort. Sure, she was no stranger to the bottle. She fit in that way. But I only knew her to have a beer on the beach while watching the sunset. She isn't what you'd call a drunk. Even offered me some from time to time. Said it was part of the communal life. But I never saw her lose control of herself the way some people do.
Did she have any technical equipment with her, like radio stuff?
Not that I know of, though she was into nice music. She once showed me a few mixtape milieux she'd made. Although I guess she was pretty handy with the mechanical and technical stuff. Even fixed the heater in the shack. You should be thankful for that.
Where did she go?
I don't know. Further up the coast. She tried to leave quietly, but the hinges on that door screeched like a cat in heat. Woke me up. I heard her rushing in those heavy boots, heading up north.
It's a peninsula. She might be trapped.
You'll never find her, you know. She knows the coast like the back of her hand. You only just arrived.
I wouldn't worry about that, ma'am. We are persistent.
Further up the coast we go then.
Are you sure you would rather stay here? Get a nice cozy fire going in the heater? Seems like a better idea to me.
The Feld electric mural. You feel like you should go look at it again. Step closer this time.
What more
about
do you
Ruby?
want to know?
Nothing,
Yes,
apparently.
let's hear those other questions. One thing,
Goodbye.
officer. If you do find her, please go easy on her. She's a good girl. Whatever she's gotten herself mixed up in.
Let's go this way. Money. Got an electric company.
You see, a once bright mural towering, a slogan used to intertwine with the loops a long time ago. Now, only a shadow of peeled letters remains. It says, "Tomorrow is just a whisper away." Above the mural, a collapsed roof, broken windows set in walls that are cracking and will soon also fall, and the coastal breeze rustling and sighing in the remains of the edifice. Feld Electrical. How ironic. All these dark rooms. Feld Electrical, you only know them as a small company that makes ink cartridges. Looks like they used to be big. There's something in the wind. Sometimes the only way to go forward is to fail first.
Could Ruby be in there?
In there? She could. Or she could be in the identical room over there, or in that boat shack, in that church tower, maybe.
Why single out this one building?
Do I have anything for shivers? Okay,
The
let's see what
once
happens.
bright mural towers above you, saying, Feld Electrical, R&D. Tomorrow is just a whisper away.
Well, let's listen to the wind.
Suddenly, all is quiet. There is no cold hand brushing against your forehead, no rustle in the reeds. The wind has died down or gone behind a corner. You only hear distant waves washing the coast. The ruin in front of you is silent as a tomb.
What was I even attempting to do here?
Trying to talk to the wind, the city, whatever you thought would happen, did not. And now you're just standing there with your hands fallen to your side. Is trying to talk to the city something you've done before? Is it in your secret repertoire? A trick for when you're out of ideas?
She could be anywhere. How do we find her?
How do we? I was really hoping she'd be in the village. Okay. She's probably north of the village, and this place is a peninsula. We've already talked to the cryptozoologists. Working with them might give us a good excuse to run around, give us some structure. And then there's the church. We've already searched that and can rule it out. I know it doesn't feel like progress, but exclusion is a step too. Anyway, we do it the old-fashioned way, sector by sector. Go over the whole peninsula, ask the locals, enter the places where we can enter first, like we did in the village.
And if that fails, if we don't find her?
Then, if we're desperate, we can look where we can't enter. Bunkers, storm drainage, this place. I'm sure it won't come to that.
Walk the coast, the old boardwalk, the reeds. You can always come back here and talk to the wind again.
Okay. Go down here. What's this? There's this slit in the concrete here. A sewer? Church. Money. Apparently I've not been here. These rescue gears used to turn the whole machine. The building before you housed the engine must have been a big one. Chain trails off into the ocean to who knows where. This barrel has been recently discarded. It smells of fuel oil. Oh, that's interesting.
It takes you a moment, but finally you spot the last of Morel's traps. This one's partially obscured by the reeds.
Look around.
The reeds shake sadly in the coastal breeze. Snow specks the stalks. Most of it melts quickly. The reeds seem to be waiting for something. The wind picks up here, near the cape's end, surrounding the narrow strip of land from 3 cardinal directions. It's cold for this time of year.
Reach for the trap.
The trap feels light and silent as you pick it up. Something is different here. No locust. No phasmid either, but still.
The closer
Well, the bait worked on something. This doesn't mean it was a reed monster, though. Unless you see one in there. I just see an empty trap.
The netting is a little untidy, messier than the others. Like someone or something picked up the trap and shook it before dropping it back down on the ground.
I got the feeling that someone or something may have messed with the trap.
Perhaps our cryptozoologists have competition in the form of an actual entomologist, or someone else is sabotaging them. I could present more theories, but then I would be taking this on as a case, which I'm not.
But what if it was the phasmid? What if it ate them and got out?
Right. Anyway, that's for the cryptozoologists to figure out now. We're not cryptozoologists. We're cops.
A cold gust of air dries your sweaty face, and you look to the dark shadow of the felled building in the distance, drawing you to it. What a strange sensation. Once this is done, should you ask the wind again?
Okay, let's just keep going up this way. Cigarette butts cleaned away under a rock, brand, whatever that is. You take a mental note. Seems important somehow. Someone's made a campfire here a long time ago. scarf. Its tiny inlets there off in the distance where the posts trailed toward. What's this? Rusted, broken control box for the radio relay tower. Ladders too rusted to climb. The sea air has eaten away at it.
Is there something here that would indicate a sniper used this place as a nest for taking the shot? Just some urban detritus, a bottle, and a dilapidated old comms tower.
I don't see it, Lieutenant W. Freighter. I don't see a person take a shot here and hit something there. In the whirling in rags.
Maybe the campfire was used by the perpetrator?
To warm his hands before pulling the trigger? Perhaps. But anyone could have made this. The coast is specked with fires this time of year.
True.
Truthfully, this seems like a very poor choice to take a 1.2 kilometer rifle shot from. Visibility is awful. There's water vapor everywhere. I think we can rule out... Biddable Prime, was it?
If the assailant climbed the comms tower, took the shot there?
It's not possible to climb that ladder. And even if it were, why? There's no platform up there to aim from.
What about the cigarette butts?
Those? A smoking assailant who favors Tumutiri to Astra or Joanne? Cigarette butts are everywhere. This is a common brand for all men.
Tumutiri was a Revacholian colony on Ilmaran. The Suzerainty's population was mostly Ilmaran Areopagites, up to 97%. The region was known for its tobacco export, hence the name.
I want to know a lot more about this.
Oh, you do? The butts you saw had a silhouette of a boy wearing a coffee hat, a tobacco picker. This boy is the Tumutiri brand logo. Contemporary Revacholians prefer Juan, a local blend from the southern islands, or Astra, a legendary cigarette from Grad. Tumutiri is favored by older men who like its old-fashioned paper filter tips, insane amount of tar, and the sweet smells of colonialism and halva.
Look over the water to the whirling and rag.
There, 1.2 kilometers over the cold water of the bay, through a thick snowstorm melting flake by flake in the waves, you see the smallest rectangle, barely visible. A glowing light on the third floor of the whirling in rags. With binoculars, you would see a young woman's shape move behind the glass, her limbs long and slender.
Finished thought. Okay, that's it for here. Boardwalk rises to the south, casts its long shadow over you. Okay. What's this? White polo. I'm finding all kinds of stuff. Yeah, let's investigate this.
An old door, worn by elements, guards the depot. The wind has blown a sand dune in front of it. The door hasn't been opened in a long while. You see a handle.
What is this thing, anyway?
It's military. A service depot of some sort.
Used to service
Probably
what?
something that is no longer there.
It may have been used to service an aerostatic battleship in the atmosphere, or a fortification, like a sea fort in the bay.
Could the structure have been used to take the shot?
From here to the whirling, I can't see how. The church is in the way.
We're not going to do this because it's a red check. Walk away. Let's go here. Okay, visual calculus wanted me to be here for something.
The cold sea breeze stings your face as you step on the boardwalk. The body is gone. But something still lingers in the air, and high above it, against the grey. A luminous wheel of pleasure, and all things bright. Its wooden frame creaking in the wind. 12 red cabins form a circle that stretches from the engine below to the flocks of seagulls up in the sky. The mirage looks both sad and glorious in the mist, like an insect trapped in glass.
What are you looking at?
Achievement unlocked, Wheel of Pleasure and Light. Study the cabins. Whisper to Kim, it's the pleasure wheel.
The one that Mr. Hiddleston mentioned?
Pleasure wheel used to take up the whole pier.
What is going on with you, detective?
Nothing's going on with you. Everything is perfectly fine. We're just here to look at the pleasure wheel. Some sadness comes crashing over you, like a bad dream.
I'm just thinking about the pleasure wheel and how it has stopped bringing people any pleasure.
Well, here's a secret. I've never been on an amusement ride. There used to be one in Kuran, a small one, when I was a kid.
Stairs right ahead is of picturing the rickety wheel in the local market place surrounded by kids.
I was always too small to be allowed on board. The harness didn't work. And by the time I was finally tall enough, the wheel had fallen apart. But anyway, we should get going. It's getting cold just standing here.
The pleasure wheel stands still on the boardwalk. Its 12 red cabins suspended in the air.
Study the cabins.
The little wooden gondolas dangle in the wind. Their seats empty and floors littered with old ice cream papers and discarded tickets. The pleasure wheel stands still on the boardwalk. Its 12 red cabins. There's a ticket office made out of an old gondola. Its wooden frame, the same shade of red as the ones above. A sign mounted on its side declares, 20 centimes for the ride of a lifetime. There are hustlers, addicts, rag and bone merchants, even entire families, if they're particularly destitute, who've turned these cabins into huts and homes in the poorest parts of Revachol. The pleasure wheel stands still on the boardwalk. Some waves come crashing against the boardwalk, shattering the mirage.
That was kind of cool. Let's go this way. We get in.
The light vanishes inside the concrete slit. The structure goes deep under the earth.
What's in there?
Maybe it's just a storm drain for the sewer.
Kim, any idea what's down there?
No idea. Could be connected to one of the buildings around here.
Think we might find Ruby down there?
We might find her down somewhere. There's an old storm drain system beneath Martinez that's mostly collapsed. Revachol's sewage system has been built and rebuilt 4 or 5 times now. In conclusion, she could be under any building.
But not in there.
I hope not.
Yell ho into the slit.
There's no echo and no answer.
Finish the thought. Full of holes, could the post hide treasure? Look inside. Alcohol. Money. 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 What the hell is this?
The shaggy hit girl.
So you talked to my associates, right? Are you going to help us? With the church, I mean.
Never mind. I don't particularly want to help them. Okay, let's go this way. Keep going this way. What's this? Money. Let's go over here. More money. Okay, nothing here. Let's go up this way. Pick that up. A door, a building, a hiding place. Could the instigator be inside?
A row of ghostly shades facing a crumbling wall, with another 7 shades standing 10 meters from them. A cold sea
I've already seen
wind
this.
blows behind this building, the other one, once filled with engineers and designers of Feld Electric, now collapsed and dead, but for some rats. You feel drawn, for some reason, to the faded mural again.
Let's go up this way. What's this? Could this be the buoy, what's her name was talking about?
A metal and plastic contraption bobs up and down amidst the trembling reeds. At first, it just looks like trash, but if you look closer.
That over there must be the boy class you told us about. The one she hid her passport in. We should take a look.
Pick up the buoy.
You lift the boy out of the water without much effort. It's not tied to anything. The cords dangling from the bottom appear to have been cut.
Examine the plastic ball.
The number 11 has been written on the yellow plastic. It hasn't been in the water for very long, but it's already discolored and slimy with silt. A latch holds it close, but only just barely. The brittle metal of the latch has cracked.
Simple construction. Very unsafe.
Shake the buoy.
There's something in there, splashing around.
Sniff the buoy.
It smells like you would expect it to smell. A concentrated version of the coast. Salt, industrial slop and decay.
Open the buoy.
A shot glass's worth of seawater pours out. Some algae. And nothing else.
Well, damn.
We're lucky it's still here a little longer and it would have floated away.
We still got here too late. There's nothing of use here anymore.
No documents. Who do you think took them?
I have no idea.
This is a minor quirk. We know what was in the buoy anyway.
Or think we do. This is a small loose end, either way. Not important, I hope.
Maybe she took them herself.
That may very well be the case. We should keep an eye on her. Nothing more for us to do here. Let's go.
You could ask the miss what she thinks. Later, if you have the time. Though you doubt she'll tell you much at this point.
Let the empty buoy be. Money. Okay, well, what do we have here? Inspect the traps. Determine where the shot came from. Check boardwalk for bullet traces. Look for Ruby on the coast. Let's go back over here and just check the boardwalk real quick. It's a long way down to your death from here, 20 meters at least.
There's some tear, an empty cigarette package, and a crumpled kebab.
Tools.
There's some tear. 2 empty... No, there's more in there. Livis strawberry liquor, plus some Pilsner bottles too. Better not pick them up. They seem unhygienic.
A tragedy.
Okay, let's keep going this way. Talk to these guys again.
Hello again.
I'm looking for a suspect. Have you seen anyone suspicious
No,
around?
I'm afraid I can't help you with this one, officer. It's just a regular day off for me and Mikhail here.
So you haven't seen anyone around?
No, I'm sorry. As I said, this is just a day off. We just arrived anyway.
He's telling the truth. He hasn't seen anyone.
Okay. Shivers. Okay.
The once bright mural towers above you, saying, Feld Electrical, R&D. Tomorrow is just a whisper. Oh, suddenly, there's a sigh, carried on the molecules around you, moving, flowing from high pressure to low pressure, like that of a woman emptying her lungs. She wraps the collapsing stone box in front of you in her breath, flowing through it.
Where does it go?
In through the collapsed roof, flowing down a concrete staircase to the basement, sweeping away footprints in the dust on the stairs, and then the beach below the boardwalk, its winding tunnels, a whisper away.
What is happening?
She's down there.
I think she's down there below this building.
Okay. Why?
We've looked everywhere else.
Right. How do we get in there? The doors were on the collapsed side of this building. They're gone, basically.
There's a ladder next to the sign. Perhaps we can climb it. Enter through the
Perhaps you can climb them. We are not climbing anything. I'm 43 years old, and I plan to live to see 70.
Oh. Well, guys, I'm going to leave that right here. I hope you enjoyed the stream. I had a lot of fun. If you want to see previous